animals, a word you need to know is sessile. Animals can be sessile. That means they stay in one place, and typically this means they filter the water for food. If you live in water, you can just stay in one place and filter the water for food. And now some animals that filter the water for food, they actually do move. And remember, as we talked when last we were together, the animals that stay one place typically look like plants. They typically look like plants because example that would be this guy here. This is the Christmas tree worm, another critter I saw down snorkeling in the Bahamas. And again, this worm is related to earthworms. And they just plant themselves down, they fill the water for food. And this guy, if it sees you coming, it folds up and the feathers disappear. So the bristles on this worm are used for filtering the water for food. Now, other animals filter the water. Another animal that filters the water for food, and it's not sessile, it moves around, is a whale. So whales have this baleen, which is a kind of a cartilage that what happens is they swallow a big gulp of water, and then they squirt the water back out through this baleen, and small fish and crustaceans get caught in that, and then they swallow what's ever caught in that filter. So when animals move, we say that they are motile, right? So there's motile and then there's sessile. So if you're sessile, you don't move. Motile, you do move. So then we have the life cycles. Life cycle is the embryonic development, and then all the life stages that an organism goes through. But here we're talking about animals. In direct development, the newborns are similar to adults. And then there'll be other animals that go through metamorphosis, right? So I think you guys learned by now that morph, right? Morph means shape. So metamorphosis means to change shape. In slang, folks have begun to think that morph means to change shape, but it actually means shape. And metamorph means to change shape. So some critters go through radical changes in their body form as they get older, and so we call the immature form the larva, and the change we call a metamorphosis. So believe it or not, humans don't go through a metamorphosis. A baby is pretty much fully human. It's got It's got 10 fingers, it's got 10 toes, 2 arms, and 2 legs. So it gets bigger as it gets older. A baby. The only weird thing about babies, or the unusual thing about babies, is that they have big heads. They have big heads and big eyes. And in fact, whenever we see anything with big eyes, we tend to think, oh, isn't that cute? And that seems to be maybe programmed into humans, that we have evolved to feel the need to take care and be nice to babies. And so when we see an animal that looks like babies, like pandas or bunnies, they have big eyes, we instinctively feel affectionate towards them. Let me see if I have some pictures on metamorphosis. metamorphosis. So, right, the Power Rangers, they go through metamorphosis, right? This is hunting. So you see there's a active predator. We'll come back to those guys in a second. Here's metamorphosis, right? So you probably learned this in grammar school. Many insects are born as larvae, like a caterpillar. Then they go into a pupa stage where they go radical metamorphosis, and then they come out as an adult, which is radically different than the immature form.